degree at the University of Minnesota. And I believe I enjoy it, and I would probably not have chosen anything else. That fortune is probably not true with anybody else, so I would ask everyone to make their choices right from the beginning.
Upper level, lower level, things like that. So waxay glass ma kala subaxii habeen maad kala qaadatay. Just to give an idea, yani sida glassada kala qaadatay.
You know, before I actually joined the pharmacy program here at the University of Minnesota, I was literally forced, I would say almost, to do some undergraduate classes, almost a year or so of undergraduate work. And what I did is, you know, having a family and children and all that, I had to make sure that I had created time for my kids, for my family. And therefore, what I did is I pushed all my classwork to the morning. I really wanted to be done with school completely. So obviously, I've taken huge load of classes, sometimes 18, 19 credits. I wouldn't encourage anybody to do that because you will burn out very soon and you will hate school. I would just tell you to take enough that you can handle. But when I went to the pharmacy school again, I had no choice. You know, I'm kind of unlucky in a way that I don't have too much choice in choosing whatever I do. So when you go to pharmacy school, and I think it is true with medical school and dentistry, you're supposed to graduate with your class. So the school will normally decide what classes you're supposed to take every semester. So then it had nothing to do with the time, morning or evening. You just had to go with the class. And that's how we went. And we were making sure that we graduated within the time required to be graduated, which is 4 years in this case.
Well, first of all, I know I'm not a morning person, so I never had morning classes. And then I don't really function as evening class, so all my classes were during the day, and then I have time to study at night. And then the other thing is, like, I'm not really for my the whole time I was doing my major, I did something that was like supposed to be for 4 years in 2 years and a half, because I wasted my time something that I was not gonna do. So I have to cram a lot of classes together.
anigu runtii digriigayga hore uu ka duwanaa systemkiisu kan Mareykanka wuxuu ahaa sidii Soomaaliya oo kaleeto Joyce ma lihid galaasyadu waxa weeye subaxdii 7 in the morning bilaabanayaan habeenkii waxay dhamaanayaan 7 so 12 saacadood iskuulkan ku jiray classku waa 45 minutes laba galaas isku xigta markaan qaato 15 minutes of break aan leeyahay then I will be going the next one. So really, in Russia, man, and he said, enjoy sa in Anglasia kala Joyce garaysan karo ama waxaan rabaa aan qaadan karo. The system was set up, so I have to follow. There's no way I can skip the class. There's no way I can say, okay, I don't want to take math. I don't want to take this. It was that. But markaan Mareykanka imaaday, runtii galaasyadayda waxay ahaayeen early in the morning because galabtii waa shaqaynayay. So waxaa runtii ahaa qof doonaya noloshiisa inuu dabaro galaasyadana inuu qaato so early morning aan qaadan jiray laba galaas galabkiina waxaan waa shaqayn jiray so that's the way I manage habeenkiina aan study garay
aniga waxaan ku hormaray marka hore koorsooyinka loo yaqaan core courseska ah oo marka jaamacadda dhiganaysid waxyaabo waxaa jira oo core course ah oo laga rabo inaad samaysid kuwa kalena waa optional waaye marka midisi marka baranaysid clinical course ayaa jiro clinical course ma qaadan karta unless aad soo samaysid mahana basic course-ga oo sida anatomy iyo biology iyo kuwa la midka oo kale marka Joyce-keena saas oo ahay qaybta hore soo dhamaysid waa inaad tardaad inaad qaybta labaad dhamaysid waay marka waa kaasa
I actually started with my general education. That's something that you would have to do as a new college student, as a freshman. I was lucky enough in my high school that I was taking a lot of AP courses and honors courses. So I actually tested out a lot of those, general education courses. But obviously, as you become an upperclassman in junior and a senior year, you really have to kind of cram into your core credits so that you can actually get the degree. But I also balance it by being a student worker on campus and also having another job off campus.
Commander, give me a second.
You guys in the back, please, and please, if you're not a volunteer, we have plenty of seats that you could sit down on. Please, thank you.
Create a schedule. So decide your first 2 years, you shouldn't make any decisions. There are general education requirements that you have to fulfill. So start taking those classes. And while you're taking those classes, use your electives to explore what you're going to major in. Then at the end of your sophomore year, declare your major. Create a schedule. You have 2 years to fill in 60 credits or 40 credits or 80 credits or whatever it may be. That means you have 4 semesters to finish it, depending on your program. Then you just take those classes. I think the most important thing about college is you need to learn 3 things, right? Because a college degree isn't enough to get a job. I think I'm right, except for the student in college. Everybody on this panel has an advanced degree. That means all of us went to college and then had to do more schooling to actually be employed. 4 years is not enough. They say that in the past, the high school degree was the mandatory minimum that you needed, right, to do anything. In today's world, your college degree is the first step. It's not an end. And though I'm more than proud of all of the college graduates here, the next question is, what are you going to do? And college is only supposed to prepare you to be able to read and to be able to write, right? This isn't our language, and you can't communicate if you can't write. So spend those 4 years busting your butt. Learn how to communicate. Learn your grammar, learn your punctuation, all the things that at home from the time that they're 2 years old. Those of us who came here later, you have to sit there and you have to teach yourself elementarily by yourself. Because you don't go to college and think, well, how do I do grammar? It's assumed that you already know, but none of us, I sure as hell didn't learn it in high school. And I don't know many kids who did. So teach yourself. So spend those 4 years picking up those basic skills, and from then on, decide what you're going to do, because your college degree is your first step, right? That's where you create the foundation to actually create a program that you're going to go into.
Well, for me, the first 2 years was generals, and the last 2 years was nursing. But because I was really confused and undecided as to what to study, because I wanted to do biochemistry and go into medicine, but since I wasn't really interested in that, I had to work a lot. So I practically wasted a whole semester of useless credits that I really didn't need. And so I remember taking, like, a summer, I was taking 19 credits, and then the fall I would take 25 credits, and then 21 credits, so it was a killer. But I made it, so I wanted to make sure that I graduated on time, and I made that happen. But, you know, you've got advisors that can advise you. There's students that studied probably the field that you want to go into, so make sure you're open and talking to them. In college, you're not really going to go somewhere unless you socialize, so make sure you socialize and get what you want, basically.
I guess when I was going through school, a lot of the things I saw, struggles with other people was that they had a hard time figuring out what major they wanted. So I would say start off right now. Those of you who haven't graduated yet, go to your career center and figure out what you're good at. Discover yourself, because you don't want to waste the first 2 years picking up generals that you don't need. It costs money. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of us end up doing when we get to college. Alhamdulillah, by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, during high school, I did went to the career center and took advantage of that and really did explore, and finally did decide that, yes, I do want to be a teacher. And so my first 2 years, I knew that's what I wanted. So I picked up the program for what teachers should be doing all the 4 to 5 years of schooling, and so I really followed that. The first 2 years, I worked in the evenings and took classes in the morning. So, and then my last 3 years of schooling, I worked in the morning and took classes in the evening. So really take advantage of this time and explore what you're good at. There are personal tests that you take that help you that help you figure out your road. So take advantage of that, okay?
Aniga actually already fududayd in classes aan rabay inaan qaato, because already waan ogaa high school markaan dhameeyay inaan rabay dhinaca caafimaadka inaan u bato. marka caafimaadku wuxuu ku fiican yahay requirements-kii kulligood waa isku mid marka waxa weeyaan ugu dambeystii marka adigu about the end of third year ama sanadka saddexaad inaad markaas go'aansatid dhinacaad u badan tahay ama ahaato pharmacy ama ahaato medicine ama ahaato dentistry laakiin requirements-ku waa isku wada mid weyn so taasa ii fududaysa inaan anigu hore qorshahayga aan usii degayba tan kale dental school waa suu sheegay cali doorasho ma lihid qorshaha lagu degayaa qorshahaas waa inaad ka soo baxdid waqtiga lagu talagalayna aad dhamaysid iskuulka soo wax ma aragtay ma aha aad doorasho badan ku leedahayba
Thank you.